Hey, this is James. Welcome to This Old RV or This Old DP. I just got back from a trip from Texas. Ran into a bunch of 12-volt problems coming out of Dallas into Denver. Started with the dash fan not working. Second week of November 2023, so it wasn't too bad heat-wise or cool-wise. Could live without it. Progressively got worse in that I lost the reverse TV, the TV reverse monitor, the radio, most of the circuits, well, most of the lighters and everything that's under the dash that is secondary motorhome fuse stuff, and kind of weird. It would come on and off, so I got a wire I'm trying to chase down to where whatever's bad is causing strange issues. But the marker lights come on, they're not supposed to come on, so it's definitely, hopefully nothing's burned up. But here we're going to try to troubleshoot it and figure out what the heck is going on. On this 2001 Allegro bus, I've changed out my batteries for a lithium ion battery, and so basically power comes up through, out of there. And this is how Tiffin did their panels. I've checked each one of these to make sure that they're good, and they all are. So my problem is not back here. All right. Now we're at the front of the bus. Sorry, my storage light's next to a big highway, so there's gonna be a lot of noise. So here are the next ones. So the power does come in through here on the solenoid and switches over. So I have power all the way over and into these switches here. Right here in the middle is the famous Ford fan resistor, which I thought might be my problem. Finally figured out that that's what it was. All these fuses are good. All these resettable ones are good. And now I just can't figure out what exactly is happening. So the next thing on how Allegro built their bus is I have these fuses and these fuses. And so, yeah, here's what they run. And this is everything that's bad. And so when I test power in down here, I'm basically at 4.9 volts, which is odd. And, it's also the marker lights and the dash lights are coming on as soon as I turn the key on when they're not supposed to, and the lights off. So the next thing is to find the Freightliner fuses, which are put down here back behind this cupboard where these drawers pull out. All right, here we're coming in for a look here. So on the front you'll see the big power stuff connecting through on the other side, and here's the fuses, the relays, 2 boxes. They got black covers on it like this, and then here is everything labeled. So my next thing is, I've done all the testing. I hope I don't have something melted there, or did we get a mouse? That's, there were mouse droppings in here. It's so hard on an RV, as you all probably know, depending on your storage situation. There's just so many places for them to get in up front. It's just surprising how these little critters crawl up your tires and in they go. So I don't know if I got wires rubbing and I got or a ground issue. So I guess I'm gonna just start testing fuses here and looking for anything that's melted. I just finished pulling all the fuses. They all look good. I kind of expected that. Of course, you always want to check it first, because if you don't, you'd go to a bunch of other work. Yeah, you kick yourself when it's the wrong one. All right, on the grounds. But luckily, I'm the 4th owner, and all the owners have kept all the books and manuals and everything, so it makes life much easier. I know some people don't have it, and it kind of makes it difficult. So what I'm looking at here is just the schematic manual, and we'll go to the part that's some of the parts that aren't working here. So here is the Freightliner schematic for what's going on, and so there's the out front right here in the corner is, well, it's not the corner, on the side there. I checked those fuses, and then, you know, tried to figure out where the OEM fuse box is, which is right there, I guess. And in some cases, people talk about it being in the one in the back that I just showed you, those big 30 amp fuses. And these fans here are on the circuit, and what got me by for a while to keep my rear view on while I was going was I'd turn the fan switch on and things would work. You know, so it's kind of telling me, yeah, I don't know what that was telling me. It was just weird. I almost pulled over. I was going to pull over for a while. I was afraid I couldn't restart, but during the last gas stop, it was just 400 more miles back to home, and I was going to get there before dark, and the outside lights, it all worked anyway, so I was okay there, but I just didn't want to get stuck in North Texas. All right, I've taken all the screws out of this fine dash. Excuse my dust. I always can't believe how dusty things get so quickly on a trip. I just put this head unit in too a couple weeks ago. I did do a video about it because nothing woo wow, but it was all working fine on the way down to Texas and on the way back. So these are just the insertion clips to take it out with. But I'm concerned with these grounds here. These aren't standard on the bus. I added these in like 18 months ago to power standalone GPS and the Roadmaster even brake systems. Added this in too for, but it just goes right to the back of these connectors in here. But that's an Apple Play on that side, just a regular charger one on that side. Cool, inexpensive, big screen, 9-inch. I wanted to go 10, but it would cover up my blinker indicator over here and my air indicator, but so the 9-inch was perfect. We'll finish taking this out, and then we'll take this dash off. Back in a minute. All right, behold the ugliness behind an RV dashboard. So here's all my the radio stuff. This was disconnected. This was an add-on that I had that I can't remember what it was for. It's the USBs down to there. Now down below, I do have one melted wire right here. And that is to my fog lights, which did stop working. So it's good that I did pull this out, because look at that, right in the middle there. That's a fire for some reason. And I do have LED fogs on. How's everything else look? So it's gonna buzz. Can't stop that. So let's see if the fans work. All right, see how that fan kind of moved? Still telling me the voltage is not to 12 volts. Whatever reason, I'm not getting the full voltage into there. So we're apart here. Where there is the hot into there. So on the automobile side, this is major pain in the ass when you're working on this stuff, is black. I might have this mixed around, but at one point it switches from black being hot to white being hot instead of white being ground. And so you kind of got to pay attention. All right, here's our diagram again. So we're at the front of the bus looking through these. There's only 3 in mine. We'll start looking at voltage again to see why I'm getting 13 volts out here, but just 5 there. So, I got the ignition turned on out front, or in there, so it's powered the solenoid, which is right here. And these are the fuses up here. And everything's getting 14 volts, 14 volts. Well, now I ended up getting the regular 14 volts out of here, but the fan still won't turn on. And it's right here, so when I measure this, and it's good, I'm 14, I turn it on and it goes to 0. Sorry for the buzzer, I have to have the ignition on to power these guys. Alright, here's what I hate about 12 volt problems, is we magically start working now. What did I do? There's something strange going on. What did I do? All right, so now it worked for a minute, then it went off. I started messing around with the fan switches, and it started working mysteriously, and then it stopped. And then the 12 volt, there would be no voltage here when I had it on and the fan not working. And now when I pulled it off and tested the ground to this, it's 9 volts coming out of here. So that's where I'm going to trace down to see, you know, somewhere along the lines is that's what's causing some of the issue. It's keep on saying this, but it's what it is. It's bizarre. And the power seats still don't work, even though there's voltage to them as well now. But maybe we'll try it with this unplugged and see if it works. All right, back here for another day. So this is my fog light one that was melted further along the lines. It really didn't cross over to anything else. So unless it was crossing up in here, so I've taken 2 screws right here to get this out. So this is, and the previous owner had it set as nothing, as extra, but that's actually, fog lights are actually hooked up to there. And then this post is all moving in there, so now I don't trust this whole thing. Alrighty, that is the problem. Is the fuse panel. Everything's back. My running lights, parking lights are not coming on. It's all because of a short circuit in this guy here. Sorry about the noise there. So it's all about a short circuit in this dumb thing right here. So I guess we'll get a new one. I don't know why the fuse didn't blow. Maybe 20 amp is too much for that, so I'll figure out how to size that down. But my mirrors work. It's a couple weeks later. Bought this off eBay. It's different than the one I'm taking out. The one I'm taking out was the block up here, but then this has the has a place to put in a ground unit, so I'm going to make up a better ground and reground some things to here. So this will be I'm basically going to plug and play off that unit there and put this in place. All right, here's where it burned out right there. That's what's creating all the problems. Here I'm getting ready to run a better ground wire, much thicker wire, and I'm gonna use a bolt down here to ground on the to the chassis ground there on the one of the fuse boxes. It's gonna run up through here and over to the new stud down there. This is almost finished up. Got the new grounds I wanted to put in. I used to tie to a common ground. Got the 2 grounds going up on this small wire. I don't know why I did it. And then I did the big white one all the way down to right there into the chassis. So more the merrier. Next thing I'm working on is trying to figure out the fan problem, and so I disconnected the black wire to the fan. The fan, there you can see it right there. So I connected the white wire in, and then I checked connectivity just to see from ground to positive, and I have connectivity. And then this is the wire that comes out of the back of here, the plug there. And so this is an extra guy, and basically we got 2 hots right here. And when I turn on the ignition, these go hot, and I tested that the fan does work. So we're back up here, and maybe I brought a different voltmeter. Maybe it's my relay now, so I guess I need to go find the relay. And I probably should have tested that earlier on when I had the front open. But that's my next step. And then after that, I tested the resistor, and it tested good. It tested funky, I gotta say. It really did. But there is different voltages coming out of it, but it's not what where the heck's that at? Oh, here's the resistor right here. So back to find this and see what we can do. Sorry for all the traffic noise. So that's the resistor. I just tested it and it looks okay. You can kind of see how it works. Basically, this plug is not used over here, but these 4 are. So looks like the first jump is just the first fan setting, second and third. So I put it on my meter on 200 ohms, and they all read out. Pretty a resistance value, and they all have connectivity as well, even though it looks ugly. I don't think this is it. So here's where I'm at now. So this black wire is positive voltage. This part goes into the back of the unit there, of the fan switch area. And when I test voltage up there, there was basically 28 millivolts, and same thing when I test down here. These were the relays. The one up front is actually the fan relay. Is the only one that's up front on the generator. And this is the 30 amp. I tested that. Connectivity, it's good. I tested voltage out of that. The side, top side's hot and the bottom side is not, and there's like a small leak, milliamp leak voltage down there when I take it out. And then up here, this is the other heater relay, and I kind of messed around with it. I think I'm just going to order one because it sure as heck can't hurt to have another one. And this is the ignition, and I think this one was auxiliary. So I didn't really have one I could pull from to test, or I felt comfortable pulling from to test. So I'm going to order just extra relays if they're not too expensive. I think these are all good. But right here is this orange one comes back from up at the controls. This relay then turns on the fan, which I proved that work. And so this goes to the resistor part out there. And I'm not sure about these others just yet. Haven't been able to figure that one out, but I think, you know, it's somewhere in this loom here that goes back, bypasses these, and goes up here. I thought initially it may be one of these were the relays, but then it's not. So more jacking around with it. Good times. Well, this is day like 5 or 6, spread out over a couple weeks, many weeks. Well, so I finally figured out what happened. So when I put the new head unit in, I disconnected this guy from the fan controls. Is why I lost it. So as I've gone through these videos, I've been really digging apart this electrical system to figure it out. And I assumed that this was like a leftover deal. And so I started cutting into it, trying to figure it out. I read the schematics and I went through, and I'm gonna pull that up to show you how I kind of went through. So these two here, so this is the fan. These are the lines to turn the fan on to the different speeds that go out front, and the air conditioning system. These here are the relays for the different fan speeds. At least this one, the orange and the pink coming out of it. So orange going in, this red going in with the pink going back out. It comes out front to where the generator's at. You can hear it running, the generator running right now. And then this blue, I still don't know what that is, but these are just standard. They all tested good. I bought those. This wire feeds up in there, but after I had to cut apart their wire bundle here to figure out what was going on, and I finally deduced that this thing needed to have power, because the only thing I could measure was power coming through there. And as I was going up through, I followed this all the way up in, and it goes out to the front of the bus and into the generator area, to where those all that stuff is. Sorry, I cut my finger when I was cutting this stuff up. And traced all that out. And then I'm going in, okay, I was like, okay, well, wait, maybe this got disconnected. Maybe this needs to be connected, because I only thought this one had to be connected, and none of these. I was only getting phantom micro voltage off of there, which drives me a little nuts, but there we go. So it's two separate problems. One problem I created when I put this in. So basically this goes right in here. So that's right on the front of the fan switches. And then this one here, or this is on the main control on and off stuff, right? So part of it was still working, which is what was tripping me up, because, you know, it also has a vacuum in there to move the vents back and forth. There's the vacuum line there, and so, you know, well, I thought it was working, or I thought it was dead. So, you know, my brand new radio, that was all awesome. I disconnected there. I mean, it's kind of, and then the other plug here goes onto that control there. So that's where we're at. Also, while I was in here, I went over and found the bulbs for the lights behind there, and I'm replacing them while I'm in here. Long life 37s. All right, trying to silence the buzzer, but I can't. So here we go, so you can hear it working. Oh, it was a second ago. No! Well, another day and more parts. Here's the fan, the new fan resistor. I measured the resistance on the old one, and it was fine, but still, you know, the upward ones aren't working. Position 3 and higher. So, dang it. Still broken. It weighs 46 plus 13 to ship it from eBay. Kind of expensive. It is expensive, just but motorhome. So when I figured out that I needed to put that I was disconnected here from my when I put the radio in, I blew a fuse last week. So positions, low position and position 2 works, and then you know, I bought the resistor, put that in, and then you know, positions 3 and 4 weren't working. So I traced it down to the relays again. These black wires were dead, and they come back in. It took me a while to figure it out, even though it's in plain sight. Right back into here, and you know, they plug into the back of the heater control right here and there. So I was testing this to make sure it was working, because I could feel the switches moving, but it was toggling nothing. And I traced down that yellow and black, and the green are the main, and the green are actually, that's just, they're different colors on the leads up here, but then they change colors here. So this is in the Tiffin rewiring of all this. So it's really yellow. So the yellow then is like one of the main power to the resistor that I replaced, and then the different values come back. And then so finally green here is the next, is position 2, and red is position 3, and then finally orange and black up there are position 5. They don't show, they only show this relay here is this one here, but this is for position 3 and 4, I think. And I haven't quite figured out if this is for 4 or if this is the air, this might be air conditioning to the other air conditioning relay out here. So anyway, 1 and 2 work, but the power needs to come in from out front through the fuse for the higher level one, for the higher level ones, and that's where we're burning out on 20 amps when it's on position 1 or 3 or 4. Well, at least 4 is where I just tested it, and it blew them out. So it always seems orange is the main, one of the main wires that comes back to, because here, you know, these don't go through the relays at all. The green, this green and yellow, right here and right here don't go through the relay, but this one does for the high speed and stuff. And then this one should switch back to this orange and black for full speed, which I think bypasses the resistor, if I'm looking at this. What a pain in the butt. So now I got to figure out where the short's at. Good times. All right, so I went out front where the generator's at. This top position, the way it's in there, it's the second one over, is the one that kept on blowing. I unplugged a relay, and that's a new relay I had replaced. I'd bought one and then replaced this one with it. I went out and unplugged it, and now all my all positions work. So my troubleshooting is somewhere along here on the condenser of the air conditioner, to the condenser in the back, actually. And you know, I've had problems with wires running to the back. I'm wondering if I got some mice up in there, because my 12 volt salesman switch or cutoff isn't working either. And one of my ABS, even though I put a new sensor on the right front's not working, and wires run through the chassis and stuff, and I've heard that mice like to get up in there. Pain in the ass. So now I need to, I know where this is at out front, but at least for the rest of this winter and spring, I can live with, I can have heat in here, and I can put all this mess back together, and work on troubleshooting it down here. Maybe I'll do that on another video. So that was a huge pain in the ass, and I'm not sure when that happened. Ugh, goodness, what a pain. Here it is running. It's going to have to listen to the air buzzer, but so you can hear everything clicking. And now go over to floor. You hear it blowing. Number 2, number 3, number 4. Listen here, maybe. You hear the clicks. Probably not since the hose, but good deal. Hey, this is James. Well, I just got done editing this video, and I couldn't make it any shorter than the 33 minutes that it sits at right now. It's because I went through so much stuff, so I'm going to just give you a quick wrap up of what went down with this. Basically, at some point, the condenser or the compressor back on the motor has gone out. Either it's a mouse has chewed the wiring, or the magnetic grabber thing, the magnetic clutch, excuse me, has shorted out along the lines, and it's causing the fuse up front, this one here I'm going to show you, to blow. But it didn't right here, this guy here. Originally, when I started the video, I did check all these fuses and nothing was wrong. And the reason why is because the main plug that I show, the red one that I show uh, in, in the video, had come unplugged from the the controls on the for the heater, the AC and stuff. So that it looked, I didn't realize it came out of there. It looked like it was just some leftover thing from the Tiffin wiring, and that the other blue connector went in there. And so also when I put the head unit in, maybe I messed up that wiring to the LE to the fog lights, because the fog lights don't work now either. So I'm going to trace that out. But the video is way too long. But basically, the important stuff was to show you the meltdown of that bus BUSS fuse panel. It should have been 20 amps in those. I still need to go through and correct those. But it should not have burned out up in there. So, that's why I was getting intermittent stuff working. Like I would remember going through a bunch of bumps, and all of a sudden everything started working. That's why I thought it was a a ground or some type of wire thing. And it was, but it's back of that panel of that bus, or that fuse bus, was messed up, and so it was basically shorting out, drawing all the power down. Luckily, we didn't have a fire. Um, that's what's crazy about 12-volt RV systems. Even on, Tiffin is a good bus, and the older these things get, this is the only complaints I have about an old bus is 12-volt wiring, or any of the wiring. It's just, as your bus gets older and it's all the vibration and all the travel, this is with the weak part of buying any old RV. But I want to take it back. I did spend an incredible amount of days out at storage over many months, as it turned out, probably about 2 months of ordering stuff in when the weather was nice, going out and getting it. But it's kind of, I went ahead and kept everything in there in case someone is having problems with the fan motor and assembly, so they can see what I did and trace it out, because it took me a long time to figure it out. And I consider myself smart, but maybe I'm not when it comes to this wiring stuff. But I just had to kind of really work through it. And I don't know if I would have hired an RV guy if he would have found it a lot quicker. Maybe he would have, maybe he wouldn't have. I don't know. All I know, it would have cost me a lot more than what I spent on it, which, to fix all this, was $100 or so. But I think I created it when I put that nice stereo unit in somehow. And that's the way it goes. Anyway, thanks for stopping by on the channel. Until next time.